Hello again, GLL back for another video. Batman Dobbins for the win. Okay, people are always asking me about this guy, and he has always been mentioned in every fucking comment section and every fucking Halo video on the net. Now, I've got nothing against the guy. I'm actually subbed to him. I do like some of his content. He does make a lot of sense in terms of, like, you know, business practices, that sort of thing. When he talks about business practice, he's always pretty much spot on. He's telling the truth. But he's by no means the fucking messiah of rant videos or reviews. You know what I'm saying. People overrate this guy to hell. Now he's got 150,000 subscribers, which just goes to prove my fucking point. So anyway, people keep asking me my opinion on him, and you know, this will give you some idea. I can go through his videos and I'll agree with him to a point, but then there's a point where his opinion just goes completely off the fucking end of a fucking cliff, and it's just gone because he just says the same shit that everybody else is saying. He says the same fucking things that are just not fucking true. Everybody's just brainwashed themselves into thinking the same fucking things that are not fucking true. In fucking Halo and shit. They're not fucking true. The old cliched fucking sprint is evil and this is good, this is bad, it's shit. It's absolute shit, man. We've been there before with Mr. Favin, and now we're going to take a look at Mr. B. Dobbins. I'm starting the video a good ways in because I don't want to go through the whole fucking video. But I just want to give him a few points back on the end of this video because he goes into a lot of detail about gameplay, and it's just complete bollocks in my opinion. Complete fucking bollocks. So I'm sure you'll enjoy the video. This has been requested by a lot of people on my channel, so hope you enjoy it.
You'll hit them from a flank or from some position they weren't expecting, and that's a lot of fun. It's sort of, you know, genuinely outplaying people by taking advantage of the enhanced mobility to move around the map in a new way. I actually think Advanced Warfare could have learned a lot from 343 about vertical laning, because one of the big reasons I think that game fell flat is that it had this really cool mobility mechanic, but the maps barely took advantage of it. You know what I mean? Most of those maps could have been played without the thruster pack. In Halo 5, the mobility mechanics and the map design complement each other very well. I also think the thruster pack adds a lot to combat and allows you to engage in some exciting gunfighting techniques to throw off your enemy's aim, where, you know, you strafe and thrust and using thrust to sort of bob and weave in and out of cover and juking out enemies in close.
All that does is make the game horrendously annoying. You've got someone in your sights and all of a sudden they dive out of the way. What's the difference between that and Halo Reach, where everybody's using the forward roll or the sprint? People complain about sprint, people complain about these abilities. What is the difference between that and fucking dodge in this game? In fact, this is way worse because you can dodge in any direction. But you can only move forwards with the other abilities. Yes, you had thrusters in Halo 4, but they were fucking hopeless compared to these ones.
Quarters can be fun, tricking them into melee in the air, using thrust to dodge enemy ground pounds, you know, playing mid-air hopscotch on
You shouldn't need to dodge enemy ground pounds because ground pound just shouldn't be in the game.
fucking lampposts and then ground pounding, and I get to feel like Batman in Halo. I am Batman in Halo. I like to hang in the air.
Surely you're Batman in everything.
When you jump in aim mechanic, I'm not sure what the official name is for it, but I do think it adds
It's called floating like a turd.
another fun dynamic to gunfighting. It's a tactic you can use to throw people off, especially if you're fighting someone at a different elevation. The mobility mechanics are very well done in this game. The gunfighting is well done. The core gameplay experience is fun. But that doesn't necessarily make up for what was lost to accommodate sprint, because one of the chief complaints that you'll hear from
This business about everything revolving around sprint is complete bollocks. This is what people keep saying. This is my point. Sprint, this hasn't, like, everything's been changed to accommodate sprint. No, that's not how it works. They don't go, oh, we have to have sprint in the game, so let's change everything. That's not what they did. I'm sorry, that's bollocks. That's a huge fucking assumption. And if you're saying, well, 343 said this and you might as well just wipe your arse on them comments, because 343 just talk absolute nonsense. They really do.
A lot of people right now is that the game needs more maps, and I basically agree, except I don't think the problem is not having enough maps. It's that the maps aren't unique enough.
Well, there's 3 Warzone maps. 3. And, 6 arena maps? And then there's gay breakout maps. They're all spread out into different game types. Are they generic as fuck? Yes, but there's still fucking way too few.
Isn't enough variety in the kinds of gunfights and encounters you're getting into from map to map. There isn't enough variety in the pace of the fighting. They play too similarly. None of them really stand out. There aren't distinct differences in the ranges at which the gunfights are.
And what about the maps that are exactly the same as each other with just like a different skin on them? Sure, that should have been mentioned.
Taking place. And I think that's a symptom of how restricted map design is when it's trying to balance out the sprint mechanic. Because when you look back at a map like Shrine, or Lockout, or Warlord, or Beaver Creek, each one of those maps had a distinct gameplay experience separate from one another. That's what
Then why did half of them maps feature in Halo Reach, a game that was full of sprint and armor abilities, and all of them played just fine? He said Shrine. That's fucking Sanctuary. That was in Halo 2. That was in Halo Anniversary. Sorry, Halo 2 Anniversary. And it was in Halo Reach. Halo Reach has sprint. Worked perfectly fine, that level did. There's absolutely no problem with it whatsoever. But you're going to sit there and say you can't have levels like that anymore because of sprint. Horse shit. Absolute horse shit. You can't have Ascension. Ascension's a fucking huge level. Why the hell would Ascension be broken by sprint? This is the kind of idiot comments that I'm talking about, that just like someone's said at some point and then somebody's picked up on it, and then someone else has said them, and then someone else has picked up on them, and someone else has said them. And I don't know where the line stops, as where whoever said it fucking first, but whoever said it first was an idiot, and everybody else fucking listening over the years has been an idiot.
Made those maps so memorable, because you can't really design maps that way anymore. If you'll recall something like BR Tower or Snipe Tower on Lockout, power positions fortified by power weapons, serious points of contention on these maps regardless of the game type. What made fighting in these kinds of areas so fun was the diverse range of unique encounters that could take place, and every single structure and building was like its own little vertical chessboard, and it almost always turned into a fight because both combatants were typically aware of one another. But now, if you were to play that map with sprint, say you're taking advantage of the power position by using the BR or Sniper to win long-range gunfights across the maps, well, now there's a good chance that an enemy can sprint all the way to the top of the tower and hit you in the back before you finish that gunfight. It used to be.
Well, this is Lockout we're talking about, a level where if you're talking about free-for-all, which I'm guessing you are, because otherwise you'd be using a team on one of the towers, you normally work in pairs or work in a team so someone can watch you back, so you wouldn't get done from behind while you were shooting if that was the case. So you must be talking about free-for-all. And if you're talking about free-for-all, you're full of shit, because people fucking spawn bottom library on your left if you're on BR Tower all the time and just walk up the ramp. That's on Halo 2. How would you know they were coming? Yeah, so you scope in, but then say you scope in and someone spawns library. How are you going to know he spawned library? You'd walk straight up the ramp and kill you. So you're full of shit. It's a load of bollocks. It's a load of shit. Oh, he's got sprint now, we can run faster. Yeah, not that much faster. It's not going to impact the game that much. It makes little to no difference. So what's he talking about? It's all hogwash. It's all total hogwash. How does that break the game? Okay, it might break free-for-all for a few people. What about team games? What about co-op? What about actually working as a team? How is that going to break that? Who the fuck sits on a tower on their own on 4v4? Nobody does. It's a fucking team game. You hold the tower, don't you? Everybody's seen it. Everybody's watched these MLG fucking guys. Once they got that fucking tower, they've got the lead, they just fucking nail it. They just hold it. They hold it, they take the sword, they hold the bottom floor with the sword or whatever, they hold the fucking top with the sniper. And you'll never get near them, you never get near BR Tower. Because they'll be all over it, from all angles, from the top, from the sides, from the middle floor, the bottom floor. You won't know where they are, they'll just fucking nail you. What is he talking about? Oh, someone's going to run up behind you with sprint. Going like this. you telling me you can't hear that? Are you fucking deaf? That's the first thing you're gonna do. Oh, I'm shooting somebody. I'm scoped in. Oh, there's a big shabby dog running up behind me. I may turn around and have a look at that. It's a dead giveaway. Nobody sprints up behind somebody. It's not going to help him. He might run some of the way and stop and then crouch and sneak up behind you. Or he might grenade your fucking ass and shoot you like everybody does in Halo. It's like basically the bare basic rule. If you want to become a fucking BR or DMR warrior, grenade the motherfucker and then take his head off. That's the game, isn't it? That's the whole point of Halo. Melee, grenade, and fucking headshots. What is he talking about? Oh, someone's got sprint, now all of a sudden the game's ruined! No, it isn't. You're talking shit. It's complete shit, and people never let this go just because they don't like sprints. If you don't like something, that's not the same as it fucking breaking something. That's two different fucking things. Like him saying here, oh, you can dodge and do all this. Does that break the game? No, I just don't fucking like it. I'll admit it, I don't like it. Does ADS break the game? No, I just don't fucking like it because it's not supposed to be in fucking Halo. Okay? I'll admit that. I'll tell you. I just don't like shit. Okay? Do I think the game is fucking wank for having boring levels and shit ADS and stuff? Yes, that's my opinion. Do I think the game has fucking shit features? Like half the fucking content missing and 343 don't give a fuck and it's got no split screen and the game's fucking terrible. Yes, I'll tell you that. That isn't my opinion. That is a fact when I tell you those features are missing. Right? It's a fact when I tell you ADS is in the game. But when I say I don't like ADS, that's my opinion. Because any idiot can turn around and go, I like it. And I can't say fuck all because you like it. But idiots come out with, sprint. Yes, it breaks the game. No. No, it doesn't. It's nonsense.
That if you checked your minimap and it was clear, you had time to get in a gunfight before you had to check again. But that's not the case anymore, so it's much harder to consistently maintain map control. It adds this level of random and free kills that ultimately
Death!
means there's less and less opportunity for meaningful close quarters vertical combat, which is too bad because those fights were pretty fun and interesting, and it's a big part of what separated Halo from other shooters. You know, you're at the top of this 3-story building using it to wreak havoc on the enemy around the map. A guy comes to try and take you out. You see him on the minimap. Now you have this intense battle of wits that plays out, right? You were using nades to
fucking hell, a guy comes running up the back tower going you hear him, you turn around, you throw a grenade, the grenade goes off and kills him. What's the difference?
cut off their advance or trying to get a good bounce, hurt them and gain the advantage in the fight. But now when you throw the grenade, the guy can just sprint forward past it. And so at this point, throwing the grenade would be a disadvantage half the time because it's so easily avoidable, and then it puts you at a huge disadvantage if he comes up on you while you're still throwing it.
Well, it depends if it's a sticky grenade, doesn't it? Just stick him in the face as he's running at you. So you can play that game. I can come up with possible scenarios all day and night. Does he sprint in, give away his position? Does he crouch and sneak up behind you? Do you even see him on the minimap? Are you even good enough? No offense, but, you know, sometimes you're engaged in a fight, you don't see the fucking farty little motion sensor. Sometimes you think on Halo 3 he's like on the floor below, you don't worry about it, and then suddenly he's on top of you. All kinds of things. All kinds of scenarios. You can spin 1,000 scenarios. But that doesn't change fucking facts. Sprint doesn't make you that much faster. It's a dead giveaway when you go in and you can fucking have whatever size map you want. It doesn't break the game. Simple.
In the process of bringing your weapon up after you've thrown it, back then you could be using stealth crouch tactics. The entire dual wielding mechanic in H2 and H3 was basically invented for these kinds of close quarters and vertical encounters. And that's a whole unique chunk of the game that has to be taken out. With sprint, in general, it's really hard to properly time the grenades because if the attacker just sprints right up to you without stopping, there's no way you can hit him with a grenade. Most people would figure that out right away, and that's what they do every time. And as soon as you start doing that, maps like Lockout no longer work because the tower is so small and you can sprint from the bottom floor to the top floor in a heartbeat. It's no longer...
No, you can't. You run out of sprint if you try to sprint from the bottom floor. Where do you think the bottom floor is? You sprint from the bottom floor of Lockout, you're going to get to maybe the top ramp. How is it a heartbeat? And you're going to be going all the way up, mind you, so someone's going to hear you if they're up there. So you aren't going to do that, are you? You might sprint to the middle room and then dive inside, so when he comes looking you're not there, and then fucking sneak up the rest of the way. Or you might go through the middle and then come up behind him, go the other way around. Or you might go sneak up there, and then your other teammates come in the other fucking way. There's all kinds of scenarios. I can sit here and do a million scenarios for fucking attacking a tower, but it doesn't fucking change fucking facts. And the fact is that sprint doesn't break the fucking game. It can't break the game. All it does is make you go slightly faster. That is it. It doesn't break anything. It doesn't break the fucking core with the fucking weapon balance, with the fucking collecting weapons. It doesn't break the team gameplay. It doesn't break anything. It doesn't. If the only thing that breaks maps in like Halo Reach, for instance, is jetpack. Jetpack breaks maps because areas where you could hold now, and now you can just jetpack straight over shit. Does anyone ever complain and say, "Hey, jetpack ruined Halo"? No, they say sprint. Clambering on shit and climbing up areas where you wouldn't be able to normally clamber up, that doesn't break Halo, but sprint breaks Halo. This is mindless, okay? Sprint literally makes you move slightly faster. That's it. Newsflash.
About positioning and tactics so much as it is a clusterfuck of using sprint to close the distance with the enemy as quickly as possible.
Sprint is all powerful! No, it isn't.
And on a map like Warlord, oh motherfucker, please. People would just be sprinting around meleeing the whole time. It would be chaos, and it would also be way too easy for people to escape in like 90% of the scenarios.
Warlord, a level where 9 times out of 10 you spawn and you're already being shot. Or you spawn down the bottom and you have to pick up a shotgun and fucking crouch and hide and take motherfuckers out quietly and go through teleports. Yeah, you're going to be sprinting around fucking Warlord, aren't you? Running around that so everybody can see you out in the open. Don't talk shit, man. That's complete bollocks. Why would you sprint round that level? For what? Warlord's a level where you just start and you just start shooting at people. It's fucking like BRs to the death. There's no fucking two ways about it. Why are you running around? The only thing that's useful for running around is the shotgun down the bottom. But that's it. That's literally it. If you see somebody and they're just that bit further away from you, that's it. That's all it's useful for.
Scenarios, even with the new nerfs to sprint where your shields don't recharge if you're sprinting and you can't sprint in the first place if you're being shot. And it would just become a super random clusterfuck where in the time it takes you to kill one person, an enemy can spawn, sprint across the map and hit you in the back. Maybe before you even...
Again, hypothetical scenarios, I can name you 1,000 times on Warlord where I just spawned and someone's already shooting me. But whatever. Apparently that doesn't matter. Sprint might actually give you a chance of fucking getting away. Maybe, just maybe, but not likely is it when you've already been shot 2 or 3 times before you even know what's going on. No, don't see it.
Kill that person. People would be able to get away, and if they didn't get away and you killed them, they'd respawn and come hit you in the fucking back before you could even reload your weapon because the map was so small. So you'd have to make the map a lot bigger, but then you lose what makes that map special, all those intense close quarters vertical games.
You don't have to make maps bigger because of sprint. The maps in Halo 3 were bigger than the maps in Halo 2, but there was no fucking sprint in Halo 3. That was just a design choice. It's got nothing to do with sprint. It's bollocks. It's complete bollocks. It doesn't matter. There's some kind of idea that you have to make maps huge for sprint. Then why is Halo Reach such a great game? Why have you got maps like Zealot and Countdown and Ascension, which everyone's saying is a fucking small level, but it isn't, and Sanctuary? Why are them levels in? Levels like Cliffhanger and stuff. Why are they ruined in Halo Reach? They're not. You can still play those levels. So it's bollocks. They're fine.
Gameplay, combat scenarios on each one of those little 4 platforms and jumping back and forth between them and up and down and such, and fighting from platform to platform. And it's not that you don't have any of those kinds of tactics taking place, but not nearly as often or intensely. It's also worth mentioning that one of the main reasons people wanted sprint in the game was so they could go faster, right? But if they have to make the maps bigger to accommodate sprint, well then you're not actually getting anywhere any quicker, are you? Because you're...
Well, you are, because if you don't want to go the other end of the level, you're getting somewhere faster, aren't you? Depends where you're fucking going, doesn't it? You're going to get to somewhere faster, aren't you? Because you're saying that it fucks the game up. So if it fucks the game up, you are getting there faster, aren't you? You're contradicting yourself. And I've just noticed that I've paused it exactly on 343 fucking points there.
Moving faster, but the maps are bigger, so you're not getting from point A to point B faster, right? Takes just as long on Truth to get from one side of the map to the other side of the map as it did on motherfucking Heretic back in Halo 3. It's just that now that you feel like you're going fast. It's just this.
The reason they made it bigger is so you can't fucking jump up with the flag from the middle with the fucking booster. That's what it is. It's mechanics from the game. It's nothing to do with sprint, is it? It's because you can't physically jump and boost from the middle with the flag, isn't it? So you can't fuck about with the flag and get it in with a piece of piss with the boost and shit. That's not to do with sprint. That's rubbish.
Gimmick. It's all in your mind. In a lot of ways, it's hard to describe what's been lost. But if you played the older game,
I swear this guy's either been watching Favin or Favin's been watching him, saying the same things, or they've both been watching somebody else. It's the same thing. It's like sprint does not break the game. It doesn't. You don't need to shrink maps for sprint. You don't. You really don't. Was fucking the pit in Halo 4 any different from the pit in Halo 3? No, it's exactly the same. Is it broken? No, it's exactly the fucking same. You just move a little bit faster. It does nothing to the game. It doesn't. It's all fucking just somebody's come up with this shit and it's just stuck like a fucking turd to a fucking wall. It's bollocks.
You know what I'm talking about. Maps like Lockout and Guardian were defined by their vertical and close quarters combat, and that's been lost. We can't see
How is it? Just put some more in.
maps like those anymore, and it's a heavy price to pay for sprint.
But it's nothing to do with sprint. It can't be, because I've just explained that you can just take the pit from Halo 3 and put it into Halo 4. There's no problem there. You can take Sanctuary from fucking Halo 2 and put it straight into Halo Reach. No problems. And Ascension as well. And fucking other maps as well. So it's bollocks.
But I'll give Halo 5 this, at least they kind of make up for it with their own mechanics in a way that Halo 4 failed to do. Now, I mentioned that...
And I'll just go on record and saying that Halo 4 is better than Halo 5, even in multiplayer. Because at least Halo 4 to me is a Halo game where you don't have shitty ADS and retarded fucking dodging and Warzone wreck points and microtransactions and no split screen and all that bollocks. At least it feels like a Halo game, albeit a bad one.
People said there weren't enough maps in this game. Originally, I was hesitant to even review this game because in a lot of ways, it feels like it's still under development, like they're still building the game, which is kind of the case with a lot of games these days. Certainly, that's what we saw with Destiny. When it comes to Halo, it has received a lot of complaints about a low amount of content, which is kind of true, especially if you're someone who skips the campaign and focuses just on multiplayer. There's been a lack of maps and playlists. But my basic impression is that with the MCC, they got all the content out on time, but it shipped broken. With Halo 5, they avoided a catastrophic launch, but in order to do that, I think they had to put the brakes on some of the content, most notably Big Team Battle and Forge, right? Big Team Battle, we're getting pretty soon here. Forge isn't coming till December, I believe. Now, Forge is something they talked about pre-release, and it's pretty clear they're putting it on steroids this time.
See, and there he goes again, quoting Josh Holmes. So he absorbs things and then he spits them back out as facts. It's like, BTB on steroids. Warzone is Big Team Battle on steroids. And Forge, we're putting on steroids. That's Josh Holmes' thing. Keeps saying everything's on steroids. And there he is, quoting him, using the same fucking terminology. And that's what he's doing with fucking Sprint. He's quoting somebody else. Doesn't know jack shit about fucking gameplay.
time around. It should be able to do everything it was able to do in past games, but they're also going to make it much easier for people to create stuff, which means
Too little, too late, though, isn't it?
they're going to create it much faster, which is really cool. That's supposed to come out in a mega update in December, which I believe is also expected to make significant additions to custom games, because those two things go hand in hand, and custom games is also lacking in its capabilities right now. And that's what I mean when I say it seems like the game's still kind of in development. There's this huge feature that obviously wasn't ready for launch. It's sort of being tacked on later at a later date for free. And the thing about
We get it.
Forge is that for the right person, for your Minecraft types, they end up sinking more time into that shit than the rest of the game combined.
Surely if you're a Minecraft type, you wouldn't be playing this, you'd be playing Halo. On Minecraft. Halo Minecraft Edition.
It's this catalyst. But really, what's cool for the rest of us, because I'm not a Minecraft type, I'm not a Forge type either, but what's cool for the rest of us is it's a catalyst for so much more. And what you have to realize is that it essentially acts as like an amateur mod kit available to the entire community. And in the long run, every player benefits. Back on Halo Reach, we got quite a few free DLC packs that were just filled with community-generated Forge maps. And the key thing to keep in mind here is that 343 has already announced that all of this game's DLC is going to be free, which again definitely wins some brownie points in my book. And because of that, I'm hesitant.
Yes, but it's content that should have been in the original game that's been just cut off anyway. And then you're going to have microtransactions in there instead of DLC. So you've gained nothing.
To be too hard on them for low content right now, when for that $60 you're also getting everything that's going to come out, and keeping in mind that with the addition of Forge.
Yeah, but I didn't buy a season pass, I just bought the game, so I should just get what comes with the game, shouldn't I? And I didn't actually buy the game, so I don't give a shit. But you see what I'm saying? If you buy the fucking game, you should get all the stuff that goes with the game. You shouldn't get it months later. There's no excuse for that. It's a retarded defense. I am pretty cool with them bringing it out later. Why? It's retarded.
Probably going to see a lot more down the road for free. So as far as the amount of content goes, it's kind of low right now. You'll hear a lot of people say that, but in the long run, as the game gradually develops and grows over time for free.
Yeah, it grows and the population continues to go down, so you're just losing.
I think it'll reach a more appropriate quantity relative to the $60 purchase. Now again, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to like all the content, but we'll see. Lastly, I do want to talk a little bit about the campaign. It doesn't have a great story. For the most part, it feels like it was just setting up the exposition and general setting for the next
That's an understatement of the century.
few Halo games, but what was really disappointing was how very little it actually had to do with that whole Hunt the Truth advertising campaign that everyone was so apeshit and excited about.
It's pretty obvious from the start, though, that was going to have nothing to do with it. If you take pages out of Halo history. Did the Arbiter ever fight Master Chief? No. Same thing.
So long. The conflict, if you can even call it that, between Chief and Locke, basically boils down to a simple miscommunication. And if Chief had taken 5 minutes to talk to Locke, there wouldn't have even been a conflict between them. They kind of been like, oh, okay, we're on the same side. And the Hunt the Truth campaign made it seem like they had these diametrically opposed interests, and it was going to be this epic clash of, duty versus critical thought, and Chief was a traitor or whatever. But it's not that at all. It's mostly just a comedic misunderstanding. The gameplay itself is not nearly as linear as Halo 4's was. That's something Halo 4 got a lot of shit for, and they worked hard to correct it. So there is plenty of room to approach encounters from different...
Yeah, that's bollocks though, isn't it? Because when you fight the same boss 7 times, there's nothing more linear than that.
Angles, different flanking routes, and with different weapons, different power weapons. It's a fairly standard Halo campaign, especially if you just play it with 4 cooperative players. I think ultimately that format is a little outdated. I think it's really time for the FPS campaign to dramatically evolve, not just...
See, there he goes again, dropping the fucking big evolve card in there. Oh, Halo needs to evolve, the campaign needs to evolve, the multiplayer needs to evolve. Where's he get that from? It's the same generic shit everyone says. It's brainwashing on a whole other level. It's subconscious brainwashing. Everybody's brainwashed to a certain level before they even start making a video, and they say the same things. If they don't talk about the game evolving or Sprint breaking the game, then all of a sudden then they're not fucking comfortable with what they're doing, because it's all fucking sunk into their fucking skulls. And the BdobbinsFTW is no exception. He's not quite down the lines of LNG, but he ain't fucking far off there, is he? Ah, the game needs to evolve. Halo has to evolve. No, it doesn't. Stop playing the evolve card. It's bollocks.
in Halo, but
Even though the games have steadily been getting more and more worse in terms of gameplay over time, even Bungie's Halos seem to get worse and worse. No offense to fucking anybody here, but can anyone honestly say that Halo Reach is better than Halo 1 campaign? No. It just doesn't work like that, does it? Halo 1's campaign is like fucking gold. It's just, everything is just so open and you can go wherever you want. You know, they just, over time it's like, oh, the invisible wall there, countdown zone there. It's kind of got more and more cramped. And Halo 5 is the ultimate expression of that, where you just can't fucking, you just feel like you're being suffocated by fucking linear fucking pathways. And Halo 4 wasn't far behind. Thing is with Halo 4 is it's just point to point. You go there, you fucking hit a computer, you go somewhere else, you hit a computer, you do this, you do that. Yeah, it's kind of linear, but at least the story keeps you entertained. Whereas fucking Halo 5, like the gameplay is fucking terrible, even more so, and the story's not even interesting.
across many games. This is something I give Black Ops 3 props for, actually. But this mentality of, progressing from room to room, clearing out enemies, is just getting really old in general. They had an opportunity to bring in something really new and innovative.
There's not really anything else you can do in a campaign. You've got to go from somewhere to somewhere and kill enemies along the way. What else are you going to do? Or are you going to have every single game be Far Cry? Well, then that's just going to get old then, isn't it? Everything's got to have its own fucking ideas.
The whole squad system they implemented, again, it's not really available if you start playing cooperatively, because each human teammate takes up an AI teammate. It like slowly takes the mechanic out of the game. But when you're playing solo, you have a cool system where you can tell your teammates to go certain places, attack specific.
Yeah, a system that's worse than the one in Rainbow Six Vegas, which was released in 2006. And you've got a worse system in this game that's in 2015. Fantastic.
Enemies come revive you and shit like that. You can tell them to pick up certain weapons, which I thought was really cool. You can customize them a little bit, but ultimately the mechanic falls flat when you realize just how stupid, inefficient, impotent, and pointless the AI teammates actually are. I mean,
Yes, but there's no bare basic commands to tell them, is there? All you have to do is tell somebody to stand somewhere and shoot something, and they'll fucking do it. You can't do it. You can only tell them to do one thing at a time. You can tell them to go somewhere, or you can tell them to shoot something. You can't tell someone to stand somewhere and then shoot. It makes no sense. It's just the bare basics of fucking tactical fucking shooters, where you tell people to do things. The bare basics is you tell them where to stand and where to fucking shoot. You can't even do that. All you can do is tell them to shoot or fucking stand somewhere. When you tell them to shoot, they just run in, because you just tell them to attack and they just charge. You can't tell them just to stand somewhere, because then they don't even attack what you want them to attack. It's just the stupidest system ever.
draw some fire, but they rarely accomplish much else. You can designate an enemy, and it'll take them fucking 2 years to finally kill the bad guy, for all 3 of them to bring him down. And they're also just very stupid in general and get killed in fairly comical ways. It's a mechanic that, if built upon in the future Halo games, could be awesome, but as of right now, it
should just be removed forever. I don't want to see it in Halo.
Kind of a gimmick. All in all, Halo 5 Guardians is a strong entry into the Halo universe that still needs to be built upon significantly to be the game.
It's bollocks.
I think because Halo, their goal with Halo is really to sell Xboxes, they're willing to turn less of a profit on Halo itself. If
See,
that
this doesn't make sense, because why would anybody buy the Xbox for Halo if Halo's shit? It doesn't make sense. So you've got no idea here, have you? Because how can you're saying they want to sell more Xboxes, so they're taking a loss on Halo to sell more Xboxes. If Halo sucks, why would you buy an Xbox to play it? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't.
makes the game more appealing and ultimately sells more Xboxes, if that makes sense. So it's really good for Halo, actually. Like, that's why I think they made the DLC
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't.
free, is because then you're not splitting up the populations, and the multiplayer stays less laggy and more populated and more fun, and gives more people that much more incentive to buy the game anyways than it otherwise would. And I'm actually going to make a future commentary on this, but I think there's a lot of room for them to, because they're not just looking at the bottom line of Halo, but the bottom line of Xboxes in general. They can do a lot of cool stuff with Halo, and just because it's not turning a huge
It doesn't make any sense at all.
profit or a profit at all on Halo doesn't mean it's not in the long run turning a profit on the Xbox One. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. We'll see. I'll be following it all here, keeping them honest. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. Please remember to rate. This is Batman, signing out.
Please remember to rate. Whatever. Don't know why he has to put the cheesy music in. So there you go. There's B. Dobbins. So my opinions of him are, he's got some idea when he talks about business practice, when he talks about shady shit from Destiny. Like how recently they just started selling fucking £25 fucking level up packs just to level your character up. I've no doubt he'll do a video on that, and he'll fucking trash him, and he's right to. He trashed fucking Destiny for its shoddy business practices, and he'll trash fucking companies who deserve to be trashed. That's fine. I like him for stuff like that. He knows what he's talking about, and as you can see, he's a popular channel. Nothing against the guy, but he's not the fucking Christ, right? People keep going on about him like he knows everything. Like, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of... I'm sick of hearing about him. I'm sick of hearing about him. Honestly to God, I'm sick of hearing about him. Okay? Yeah, he's alright, but he's got some fucking fundamental flaws in his logic when it comes to like sprinting and whatever. It doesn't make any sense. When you really think about it, it doesn't make any sense. It's just stuff that's been handed down time and time again from other people. Blah 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 blah. I've been through it all on the Farving video as well. So if you haven't seen that video, check that out, because I go into more detail, because he throws up like a load more points and I give my fucking take, and I just destroy all of them. Okay? He hasn't gone into much depth in this because this isn't a video specifically about sprint, so he's not done as much, so I can't really kick back as much because I'd just be repeating myself from the other video anyway. So I'm just countering his points as I'm going along, so it's hard to kind of like start saying everything. But basically it doesn't go into it because sprint is just sprint. It doesn't affect jack shit. It just makes you run slightly faster. Okay, if that doesn't break the game, that doesn't change the game. You can still put every single level from Halo 2 in a game with sprint and it will not do anything. Okay, you can take levels from GoldenEye 007 on the Nintendo 64 and put them into Halo Reach. Okay, GoldenEye is a slow ass game. Okay, unless you like walk sideways with the C strafe and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can put levels from GoldenEye in Reach and they're fine. Games like fucking 20 odd years old, maybe more. You know? And you can put levels from GoldenEye in Reach and they play fine. They play absolutely fine. So how can you say like, oh, it dictates your levels, like you have to make levels bigger because of sprint? The whole concept is a load of bollocks to me. It really is. If 343 say they make levels bigger because of sprint, well, they're a bunch of idiots, because it doesn't matter. If you can put Sentry in Reach, then it doesn't matter, does it? It really doesn't, because Sentry works fine in Reach. No complaints. Okay. So there's B. Dobbins. Hope you fucking enjoyed it. One of the most requested videos. Feel free to subscribe, guys. See you fucking later.